Hello everyone, I hope y'all are having a great day. It is August 28th, and today I'm back with another video. So today I'm going to be talking about, mainly Ida. Uh, Ida's going to be a very, very big problem, over the next couple of days. I'm pretty sure most of you have already heard about it. Uh, right now, Ida's a Category 1 hurricane. It's expected to make landfall as a Category 4. Which is very significant. So we're just going to go ahead and get started talking about Ida. So right now, Ida has 85-mile-per-hour winds. It's coming into the central Gulf. Hurricane warnings out for a lot of south and eastern Louisiana. It's expected to make landfall as a major hurricane. That's not good at all, especially Louisiana. Louisiana is very prone to flooding. I think flooding and storm surge is going to be a very significant risk with this. But yeah, so that's the cone. Let's take a look at flash flooding potential, and this is day 1 through 3, like combined. We have a high risk for flash flooding, which is very significant. It kind of Baton Rouge, I think, is in it. New Orleans is in it, and New Orleans is very prone to flooding. This is not good at all. Storm surge. This is the storm surge map. Takes a bit to load. So let's just wait here. Okay, there we go. And we're expecting some pretty significant storm surge in some of these areas. Let me wait. Yeah, let's just keep it on this. So red is greater than 9 feet above ground, and this just looks worrying. Even up towards Baton Rouge, we could even see some flooding. Not good at all. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much my main concern with Ida is going to be storm surge, and flooding. I mean, that's kind of my main concern. I mean, the wind's going to be a problem for sure. I mean, this could be a Category 4 landfall, but I'm more worried about the storm surge, to be honest. This is what Ida looks like right now. Pretty good looking. We can see we're starting to have some. We have convection completely wrapped around the center. Center's right there. We kind of this morning we've had an eye trying to come through and play this out, and we can see that the distinct low. I mean, it's trying to get an eye, so we'll have to see. But definitely looking good. Definitely looks like a Category 1 hurricane right now. Yeah, so we can go back here. Take a look at intensity guidance from the 12Z models today. We can see most models carries this up to a Category 3. So that would be good. Maybe if we don't get a Category 4 landfall, that would be good. But a Category 3, Category 2, that's still very significant. That's nothing to play around with. That's a very significant storm at landfall still, with wind and then as well storm surge. So yeah, now this is the GFS. The GFS indicates Ida. This is 12Z this morning, 983, down in the southeastern Gulf, and then it has it making landfall at about tomorrow evening as a 965, maybe around 962. Let me kind of zoom into the southeast here. Yeah, weekends really quick, even, and it has been trending a bit. So we can go back to its last run. It's kind of that definitely seems like it'll weaken quickly once it hits land. And then they'll go up in the Mississippi, northern Louisiana, bring some wind and a lot of heavy rain. Maybe some flooding from the rain, and definitely problems with the wind as well. I think we'll see some wind problems all the way up in the northern Mississippi, where we could see some gusty winds Monday night into Tuesday morning. Then it will kind of just bring a bunch of rain to the to the mid-Atlantic, my bad. But yeah, so that's the GFS. Now let's take a look at the Canadian, just see what the Canadian has at landfall. Canadian has a 986 at landfall. I'm not gonna buy that. I don't think it's gonna happen. I think it's gonna be stronger than this. Definitely, we're gonna look at it though. But that even a 986 will be a problem, a significant problem for areas like New Orleans. You can see it right there. That's the Canadian. I don't think I think it's gonna underdoing it. Then the Icon has it making landfall as a 969. Pretty significant. Let's take a look at some of the hurricane models. Take a look at the H Wharf. H Wharf, okay, 943. That's insane. Okay, hopefully that does not happen. And I do think we're also gonna have a severe weather threat, maybe across Mississippi. The H Wharf indicates definitely a band of some strong storms there Monday. Then we go into Tuesday, maybe I think Tuesday we could see a little bit of a severe weather threat in Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee, East Tennessee. As this weekends across areas of Tennessee with just some gusty winds. Yeah, so that's Ida. Ida's going to be a significant problem. I might live stream for this. We'll have to see. I mean, yeah. Right now, I think it's expected to be a Cat 4 landfall. That might have changed. I don't know. Hopefully, it's not a Cat 4 landfall. But I mean, like, even a Cat 3 or a Cat 2, that's still gonna be very significant. And the Gulf waters are very warm currently. I mean, take a look at the current water temperatures, and look at this: 30, 31 degrees Celsius, and it's going right into that area right there. So very warm waters, even warmer than the waters it's in now. So that's not good at all. So hopefully we don't see any rapid intensification or anything like that. But right now it's kind of likely that we are. So hopefully we don't see that. But it's looking like right now we could. But yes, I guess let's switch topics here real quick. Not really gonna. We do have an enhanced risk for severe weather up in Minnesota, South Dakota, Wisconsin today. Let's just take a look at the. Let's go over to Pivotal, so we can look at this a bit. And we got the 12Z just coming out. That's good. Get rid of that. Yes, we got the 12Z just coming out. Take a look for this afternoon. Definitely looks like we have some kind of frontal boundary right here. And we're going to see a bunch of storms go off along that from Nebraska up into Minnesota. Take a sounding at O2Z. This is O2Z. That's 9 p.m. Central Time. Take a sounding in southwest Minnesota. That's contaminated, extremely contaminated. That's a great sounding. All right, let's take one in northern Iowa. All right, this one's not contaminated, so let's look at this. So we do have a bit of capping. Instability is there. Shear, not great at all. But definitely a damaging wind threat. And I think today we do have a 5 Tor. Kind of looks to be along a warm front or some kind of other front. 30 wind and 30 hail. I do think wind and hail are going to be the main threats, especially if that's sounding. But tornado threat seems to not be too high. Sega is sounding along that warm front, and shear's a little bit better. It's kind of contaminated, but we definitely will have a bit of a Tor threat. Okay, with this sounding, we have more instability, not as capped, and shear is there. Definitely 2 to 5% Tor risk. That's what the SBC already has. I don't think we're gonna see an upgrade to a 10%. I don't think the shear is really there for that. So yeah, now last thing we're going to talk about in today's video is kind of the overall pattern we're going to be going into. So there's going to be a lot of changes after we see Ida move out. So this is the GFS here. This is Wednesday evening. We have cooler air settling in behind this. Another storm system in the plains. We can see Ida, the remnants of Ida, bringing some rain to the mid-Atlantic, southeast states, and some heavier rain up in areas of the coastal northeast, areas of eastern PA, southeastern New York. And Thursday afternoon might actually be a cooler, drier day across the southeast. We see Thursday afternoon will be relatively unsettled across the plains, the Rockies, maybe the coastal East Coast, or pretty much the East Coast down into Florida. But overall, the South, Midwest, Great Lakes, or not really the Midwest, but the Great Lakes, interior Northeast might actually have a cooler, drier day. We can see. I wanted to look at dew points. And look at these dews, though. I mean, we have 50s, 40s, even 60s down in the areas of Georgia, maybe even, which, I mean, compared to what areas of like the South, like Alabama, Georgia, has been experiencing this week. Dews in the mid 70s, dews in the 60s. Will feel much better. Even maybe not even getting up to 65, or maybe not, maybe even less than 65 dews on Thursday. In the deep South, that's gonna feel great. But we still have that humidity in areas of southern Louisiana, Florida, South Georgia, low country of South Carolina and eastern North Carolina. But definitely some cooler or some drier air at least. Let's take a look at temperatures. It's not what I wanted. Uh, still quite hot across the deep South, 80s. But there's a big difference between 86. Between an 80, there's a big difference between an 86-degree temperature when the dew point's 75 and an 86-degree temperature when the dew point is 60. Big difference. It'll, I mean, from my experience, 86 degrees when the dew point's in the low is around 60. It doesn't feel too hot really. It's kind of just the humidity that makes it feel hot. We can see cooler day across the Great Lakes, 70s, interior Northeast, maybe even 60s. Very nice. That's September 2nd. And then take a look at this. Friday, September 3rd, we cool down into the 50s across the Great Lakes, maybe even 50s across areas of the southern Appalachians or Appalachians, however you pronounce it. Northern Alabama, northern Mississippi, most of Arkansas. Let's take a look at the Canadian, see if it's kind of comparing, and it kind of is, but not too much for the South. I mean, we're not going to be seeing any cold weather, which we don't really see cold weather in the deep South and on September 3rd. But definitely, we're going to be seeing cooler, drier weather as we go into the end of this week, and into the first weekend of September. Or not the end of this week, the end of next week, because it's still Saturday. So definitely some cooler, drier air. We can see we have, this is temperatures in the morning. 70s in Kansas, though, so still pretty warm in the plains. But definitely looks like fall is coming soon. We're going to be seeing some cooler days. And even towards the end of the GFS run, we don't really see too much heat across the South, but then the plains really is. But this is 300 hours out, so what happens 300 hours out in the GFS? That's questionable. It's not going to happen, most likely. You can see it looks like the plains, though, is going to stay hot, though, for sure. Looks like the plains will be very hot. The east, the south will be I'm not going to say cool. I'll say pretty much warm, but drier. The Great Lakes will be pleasant. Northeast will be pleasant. And, yeah, so, it's kind of good, but we're going to see some cooler. Not really, cooler, but mainly drier weather. To make it feel cooler. But yeah, that'll wrap up this video. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I may or may not live stream tomorrow for the landfall of Ida. I'll have to see. But yes, I hope y'all have a good Saturday, and goodbye.